Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode, Cooking for the Health of It. We're a whole food plant-based cooking show and live class, and we're full again today. And I am Karen.
My name's Rich.
And we're here to show you today how to make, today what we're making, we're not even cooking. This is a living, we always talk about the enzymes for whole food plant-based, so today's going to be an example of just living food. Nothing's cooked, nothing's destroyed of the vitamins and minerals. So what do you got on the menu, Rich?
Pico de Gallo. That's what I'm making.
Favorite to make.
And I've been making this for a long time. Now you have a recipe in front of you and you see the one on the net. I don't follow it. I don't put garlic in mine, so I'm just going to tell you up front. And I'm kind of like when you talk to your mother, your grandmother, and you ask them what kind of quantities they said, I don't know, I just make it. That's how I make this. But I do taste it, and anytime you make something, a good idea is to taste it on a regular basis, see these, a little bit more of this, a little bit more than that. And that's what we're going to do today. Now we take jalapenos, tomatoes, onions, cilantro, and lime. You can use either fresh lime or you can use lime juice. And then a little salt and pepper. Again, I don't use garlic. The salt and pepper I recommend you put on at the very end because what it'll do, it'll break down the tomatoes. So if you plan on eating this later in the day or even the next day, and Pico de Gallo does not stay very long, then put it on at the very end, right before you're ready to serve it, because it does have a tendency to break down the tomatoes. We're going to start with jalapenos, and you can either seed these or not seed these, it's up to you. If you seed them, they're not going to be as hot. And one safety item is when you do seed them, you're going to be using your fingers. When you're done, wash your hands, because if you touch your eyes, you could burn your eyes. When they seed them, all I do is cut them in half.
Also about the membrane you were saying.
Yeah, take the membrane, seed out. It's not quite as spicy. Then at home, we leave it in. Here, we're going to take it out. And then just take a spoon and real easily, just like you're cleaning out a canoe, bada bing, bada boom.
You can also wear gloves if you really are sensitive to the heat, because there is some heat in even a jalapeno.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes a glove might be nice.
And then what I like to do is I slice them real thin, and then we dice them up. And all my vegetables that I put in this dish are about the same size. That way when you take a spoonful, it's pretty much proportionate. And that makes a difference. If you had big chunks of tomato in there with small things of jalapeno, it could throw the taste off. So we try to make them as close as possible. Put that in with the rest.
And some of you that are here has known his Pico de Gallo for many, many years, and it's pretty good.
By the way, Pico de Gallo, we looked it up today, was originated in Mexico. And tomorrow is we call it Cinco de Bingo because the dog's birthday is tomorrow. We used to call her Binky, but her birthday is tomorrow. And another thing about Cinco de Mayo, a lot of people think that historically that had to do with the Spanish or the Mexican Revolution. It's not. It had to do with when they defeated the French in 1861.
We just looked it up on the way here.
Yeah, so that's how we know. We just looked it up.
We did.
And besides that, another thing is it's celebrated more here in the United States than it is in Mexico. So.
And we know Google is right about everything, right?
Yeah. For the tomatoes, I usually use aroma. They're a little bit more meatier. You don't have as much juice and stuff inside. And again, I also, for this, I like to take the seeds out.
I never did that in the past, and when he started making it, it just tastes so much better when you don't have all that liquid of the seeds in there, and it doesn't dry, or it's more dry. Like he said, sometimes those cell walls can break down and it just gets a little mushy, whereas this can actually last 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator when you seed it.
And then again, I cut it about the same size as my jalapenos. Now we used a purple onion today, and again, you can modify this recipe however you want. The yellow onions we had, they didn't look that good, so we used a purple onion instead. Chopped it up, and as you can see, same size. Then we have cilantro, chopped up. And again, you can either use fresh limes or you can use lime juice. We're going to do a little both in here.
And the fresh lime is nice to put on your dish, which you'll each get one as we serve it to you. And then you just squeeze it over your whole nacho supreme that we're making for you today.
So we're going to mix all this stuff together.
And remember, these are all living foods, so let food be your medicine. The enzymes are in here, the vitamins, the minerals, nothing's been cooked out of it, as we said earlier. And the choice is yours. If you want good health, don't wait till tomorrow. Start today. Today is for you to take responsibility. If you start today and you mess up tomorrow, then get up again and start the day after. The key is just being persistent and you'll see the joys, you'll see the benefits of it. Many of you in here have seen it for many years, and that's why you continue to come back. And this is a beautiful dish too. It smells so good. You guys can smell this right now. A little smell-o-vision, they say. Again, high octane fuel, living fuel for living bodies. What happens if you eat dead food? What are you doing to your body? You're killing the cells. You're destroying the cells. So try to eat the food. The thing that I like to say is it's not the food in your life, but the life in your food. So if you're looking at food that's truly living and vibrating natural health, then you're going to put that in your body, and it's going to do the same in your body. It's going to change over, detox, cleanse, and rebuild your cells. Has anyone in here made change since we've started these classes? Yeah, a lot of you, and a lot of you are enjoying. When we first started these classes, people was saying all the time, I'll never eat that, I don't eat that stuff. And now we are serving 25 people plus, people are asking for seconds, and these are the same people that didn't want anything to do with it in the beginning. So thank you all, and thank you all for keep coming back. And thank you for all the new ones that continue to come. So again, removing processed foods from your diet is the most important step you can take for your health. Everybody knows what a processed food is, right?
Yes.
It's food that's devoid of nature, foods that have been chemically altered, and you just want to keep your food living. Oh, I get the bite?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Don't use the same stuff.
Yeah, don't put that back in there.
I'm gonna do one.
Oh, perfect lime.
Was it? Is it okay?
At home, we would definitely use more jalapenos, but we kept it light for you. Someone in here today said they're allergic to jalapenos. Do not eat Pico de Gallo. There's not a jalapeno in anything else we're making. So the jalapenos would be put aside in the dish.
Put a pinch of pepper in here now because we're going to serve the dish.
I have a mouthful of food. Not a good idea. The pepper does make it really good. Sometimes I don't even put salt in here because a lot of the vegetables are naturally full of sodium. And the flavor, you're not missing the salt if you don't add it. So if you really want science about natural food and the whole food plant-based, you all hear me say every grocery store you go to, Lowe's, any of the mainstream box stores, you're going to see magazine after magazine, we talk about all the time, of herbs and whole food plant-based. And that's what we're turning to today. If you really want science, just go to Harvard Medical School, Cornell University, Johns Hopkins, Loyola in Chicago. All of these are just really now starting to begin to teach their new medical students the importance of whole food plant-based diet.
And just like the picture, you can see it.
Isn't that beautiful? I'm still tasting it, one bite. And the cilantro in there, there's a love-hate relationship with cilantro. People either love it or you absolutely don't want anything to do with it. I love it. I gotta have cilantro in anything I get a chance to. I love to grow it in the garden. Anybody starting their gardens, getting ready to get their cold crops in? Yeah, lots of hands going up. All right, so next what we have on the list, we have the Pico de Gallo done. What we're doing now is the loaded plant-based cheese nachos, which is nacho cheese. Literally no cheese in it. So there's no animal fats. It's not going to raise your blood pressure. It's not going to cause cholesterol issues. Anybody that has high cholesterol, your danger is animal products, dairy, meat, eggs, all the things that raise cholesterol. There is a controversy on eggs that eggs does have lecithin in the yolk, so it's a whole food that you can balance it out. It depends if the person, you choose what you're eating, just choose healthy foods that you know is not going to destroy your health. So what we're going to do next is make the nacho cheese. And what's going in here, where's that at? Okay, that's on the back of your recipes if you look at the top. Again, people who have high blood pressure, stay away from cheese, stay away from meat and dairy because your blood pressure is going to be skyrocketing due to those animal fats and animal cholesterols that's in there. So what we're going to do is put in the water. I'll meet you halfway because that's not easy to carry. We're starting out with 3/4 cup. If we need more, you'll know it. Depending on, do you like your cheese thick, do you like it thin? Again, we're doing nacho cheese, so that can be kind of middle of the road. Now, if you watched any of the episodes in the past, or if you've been to the classes in the past, Debbie and I one time did a macaroni and cheese. You can use this same cheese base if you choose to. We also did, what was that other dish that we did? It was enchiladas.
Yeah.
And that was just a few episodes ago. But with that, we used onions, carrots, potatoes, and then we used the base nutritional yeast, but there were no cashews in it. So in this one, it's going to be a lot richer. It's going to be more creamy, pretty decadent. They're both delicious. In here, I'm going to give you the recipe we're using that you see. This is 1 cup of cashews. And then we're going to use some garlic. And as you know, this is kind of noisy. Yes, you have a question? Good question. If you don't have a high-speed blender, it's very important to soak your nuts and seeds. If you have a high-speed blender, such as ones that is on the market today, you really don't need to soak them because this is going to break it up. It makes sawdust out of a piece of wood. But another reason to soak your nuts is to get the enzyme inhibitors off of there. So that's another good reason. We did not soak them. Believe it or not, these are already pre-soaked and sprouted. So that makes them even healthier. But get those enzyme inhibitors off your nuts. That's what causes digestion problems, and a lot of people have issues with eating nuts. Never mix your nuts with your fruit. People who do smoothies, they tell me all the time, I'm throwing nuts and seeds and fruit. That's going to cause a disruption. You're going to be bloating, you're going to be bubbling and gas and a lot of discomfort. So don't mix your nuts with your fruit. And the reason being, nuts are very high protein, so it takes a lot longer to digest. Fruit will digest in 20 minutes. So you got that digestion going on of wanting to digest right now, and then one's like, no, we have to take 4 hours to digest. So it just causes chaos. So what are we putting in here next? The garlic cloves. Calls for 1. We put a little extra garlic in everything. And you might like that too. Okay, so we're putting some nutritional yeast in here. That's what gives it that cheesy flavor. Also extra B12 that you're getting. Nutritional yeast is one of the whole food and raw food people's mainstay. And I just heard today, my sister was telling me, again, it didn't triple a year ago, it just tripled again from a year ago. So now it's like almost out of our price to afford. So if you like nutritional yeast, get it now while you can, because it's going to triple again real soon. So we're going to put some chili powder and cumin goes in here, and that's going to start giving it that flavor of the Mexican nachos that we're looking to get out of here. We are going to put a little bit of sea salt in here. And again, you can see we're building food as medicine. We're getting our electrolytes. We're getting the antibiotics from the garlic. What is that? Chipotle pepper. Just 1, because again, we're in a class that people don't like things real spicy like we do. But this adds just a teeny bit of heat, enough to give it that flavor. So what we're going to do then is blend this off camera, which we don't need to because we already have some made. So we're going to put this aside for now, and we're going to go ahead and start building your nacho, loaded plant-based nachos. What we're putting on here, we're going to start out with your corn tortilla chips. Try to get the organic if you can. We like corn because a lot of people are gluten sensitive. You can still have the corn, most people. Then what we're going to do is start building it. We already have a black bean made up. I added, this doesn't call for spicy black beans. You can buy them in the can spicy. We just added a little bit of oregano, some parsley and thyme into the canned beans. You got those? And I'll get this here. And we like to put black olives over ours. Get creative, whatever you put on your nachos. Does anybody make nachos at home, or do you only get them when you go to a restaurant? Most people don't make them at home. But you will after today. You'll start making them at home.
You have a house full of kids?
Yeah, it's a real easy, quick food to make, and they love them. And the thing is, you don't have to add the cheese and put them in the oven on top of this. We have our nacho cheese that's, let me get that nacho cheese. This is what the nacho cheese looks like. Does that look like any of that cheese that you get out of those Dorito cans that has all the chemicals and the cholesterol and all that animal fat in there? Nothing in here. This stuff, you could eat a bowl of it and not have heart disease from it. All right, so go ahead and layer that on there like you would do if you like a lot of cheese, everybody. This is delicious. That, to me, that extra pepper that we put in there, that just gives it a better flavor. If you're making macaroni and cheese. You can use this. This is a base for that. We use this for baked potatoes. Use your creativity. What would you use cream cheeses like this on? And that's what you'll use this for. Now we're putting the Pico de Gallo on one dish, but the person who can't have the jalapenos will, as we start to serve it, we'll put them on the side. So this is what we're beginning to build here. Does that look yummy? And then of course we're going to put the limes on the side. And then when you get them, just take your lime and squeeze it all the way across the top of it. It's the jalapenos. Jalapeno. I still have cilantro in the back of my throat. All right, so remember, we always say this, what's your best wealth? Health. We want to make sure that you are loading your body up with nutritional food. If you're not sure what to eat living fruit. It's the fast food in this world today. There's no waste, and the food, every part of a fruit is what our body loves and needs. We're also on YouTube. If anyone gets a chance to watch us on YouTube, go to Cooking for the Health of It, and it's under, what is it under? It's Grace Learning Center, thank you. And if you want to attend a live show, you all in here know how to do it, but if anybody's watching, call 219-879-6788, ask for Liz or Bill. Class starts promptly at 9 o'clock, the door's shut for taping. And what else do we want to talk about real quick here? So these colleges, these medical colleges today, and I do research all the 40 years I've been in this. I've done a lot of research and medical research as well. And what they're doing now is scientifically proving the whole food plant-based diet is going to manage or reverse disease today. And I think it's great that the mainstream medical colleges are getting involved, and one of my colleagues that I've known for 40 years is leading this industry in the medical world, and that's Dr. Michael Clapper. And if anybody gets a chance to look him up, he's very amazing. He's probably in his 70s now and still doing great work and helping people and helping these colleges today. Anything you want to add today?
No, but we have to say happy birthday to Abby, whose birthday tomorrow.
So celebrate Abby tomorrow. Cinco de Vinco, yes. Any questions out there today? Everybody ready to try some of these nachos? All right, well, that was an easy, short one today because we really didn't have any cooking going on. Again, you want to try and get as many raw living foods in your diet as you can. Probably the only thing on here that I wouldn't eat excessively would be the corn chips, because you could consider that a processed food. But all the other things, as you've seen, were made from living plants. So I guess that's it for today.
Yes, it.
Thanks for all you did, and God bless.
God bless.